Hi, sweeties. How are you doing? Welcome to Cimnanya, and thank you all so much for all the love and support. Hope you all are doing great. So, this video is about two men who actually stood out in the world's biggest stage to kind of protest, to tell the world what Black people are going through, and the world showing them over it. I mean, you all already know how Black people, how they've been living, how life has been for them, and the rest of them. And they also stood out in order to tell people. I think this happened in 1968, right? That was 1968 and Mexico City Olympics, where they actually stood out to tell them how Black people are suffering, how life is hard for them, the lean and shame that was happening back then, and the poverty that was happening also in Black community and the rest of the. And during that period, they could have accepted their medals and walked out of the stage without saying anything, but it took courage for somebody to come out there, like in the middle of everybody. I know how many thousands of people that were there, and they didn't decided to protest, wearing the same gloves, raise their hands up, trying to let the world know that this is not. I mean, life is not good for us. Life is this, life is that. I absolutely love it. They did a great job, and I really hope you all already know the systemic racism that has been happening, that has been mounted to the to oppress people that look like me, and all we've been doing is to dismantle it so we all can have equal rights. Let's get into this.
Let's talk about the time that two black men made a statement on the world's biggest stage and the entire world shunned them for it. I'm Andre, and this is Blackity Black History, Part 3. It's October 1968, and Mexico City is hosting the Olympics. Tommy Smith had just won the 200 meter with a world record of 19.83 seconds. John Carlos over there had just won the bronze medal. Now these men could have just accepted their medals, but they didn't, and I love it. This is the picture that was taken when they accepted their medals on the podium, and is one of the most famous and infamous pictures of all time. Both accepted their medals with no shoes on, but wearing black socks to represent black poverty. Tommy Smith wore a black scarf around his neck to represent black pride. Don Carlos wore his jacket unzipped to show that he was in solidarity with blue-collar workers. He also wore a necklace made of beads to pay tribute to every single person who had ever been lynched, tarred, or hung, and had never had a prayer said for them. But what really got the world going is when they raised their fists with black gloves on and lowered their heads during the playing of the Star-Spangled Banner. Mind you, this is 1968. They're black! They were immediately ostracized. As soon as they got back to America, their families received death threats. There were also calls for their medals to be revoked. It took a lot of time for the world and the perception to heal of these men for the disrespect that they, paid towards their country. But I'm here to recognize these men for what they are, heroes. Not many people could do this right now, or would have the courage to do this right now. And they did it in 1968, at the height of the civil rights movement. Both men are still living today and have fortunately lived long enough to accept their flowers. They both went on to have short stints in professional football and broke numerous world records as runners. John Carlos is now a teacher and counselor at Palm Springs High School, and Tommy Smith, after serving in education, is now a motivational speaker. I think it's important that this act does not get lost in history. Well done, gentlemen. Let's talk about the time that two black men made a statement on the world's biggest stage and the entire world.
Through those gentlemen, things have changed because racism is real and it's all the way around the world. But the part that gets me, they claim that the United States is a democracy country. It's for the people, by the people. But that's just words. And these type of words are meaningless because just recently, the girls who were playing the women's tournament basketball team, there was this young lady, she was Asian, she had on the United States gear on, like a hoodie that had the stars and stripes. She had a poster up and saying that how Caitlin, who's one of the United States, National Women's Basketball League, I don't know what team she's representing, that she should be there to win for Japan. And I'm like, where did she get that from? But guess what? She get it right here in the United States. Because you remember when the ladies them won, you had Gayle King talking about Caitlyn. Then you had the president, the first lady, saying that she wanted both teams to come instead of her celebrating the celebration to the winning team. All because of Caitlyn. So when people around the world see the systemic racism, they employ the same type of racism to the people them in the black community. Now, during that time, I think it was few late years late before prior, they had Jesse Owens. Adolf Hitler, at the time when they did, this was when he was breaking the color, the barrier to allow blacks to be participating in Olympics. And considering this fact that he won the gold, that he brought the gold to this country, the leader of Germany, which is Adolf Hitler, refused to shake his hand. But guess what? He found more backlash in the United States because when they had an honorary dinner for Jesse Owens, you know what they did? They turned around and told him to go to the back door. Okay, for all these years and for him receiving all these medals and bringing the winning team back to the United States, they told him to go to the back door. Then he was working minimum wage jobs that wasn't even pennies and scratch, and all he had was that medal. So the same type of systemic racism that these ladies are going through, like the Venus sisters, like Serena and Venus, how they went through racism playing tennis overseas. The girl Coco, even the young lady who started out working, being around them and getting the support and stuff. But Coco, to me, she has thick skin. And then you're looking at the track and field with Sha'Carri Richardson, how her own country don't even support her. Okay? She's been supporting herself. All right? And when you look at the whole entire listen, then you get mad when the gentleman decided to put to not to give respect to the American flag and take one knee and look down at the floor. Because this is how the United States they only use us to play games so they can win the gold, to compete and to join their war. And remind you, we didn't start the war, they did. And then also to work their minimum wage jobs. And then when they get mad that blacks decide to wake up and do entrepreneur and do bigger and better things, they talk about, oh, they need us for the black jobs. So all the disgrace, the humiliation, all the public outrage that we have been going through for many, many years, it has not changed. So when those two men wore one black glove and raised it up in the fist, and not when Trump turned around and did it with his assassination attempt, to me, that was a disgrace and that was a disrespect to the black community. But when those men rolled up their fists and looked down on the floor, that goes to show how America treated us. To this day, we're like the third-class citizens in this country, so that other countries don't respect us or acknowledge us because our own country does not. But the ironic thing is they need us to play games. They need us to join their army. They need us to work the jobs when other people don't want to work the jobs. Until one day we wake up and say, you know what, we ain't doing this crap anymore. And we want bigger and better things. And when we do, they try to push us right back to poverty line. So congratulations to those men. Really do congratulations. To this day, when I remember when the first time when I heard the story about it, I put my hands up and clap because guess what? They were making a stand. They were making a stand. And I remember they were trying to use Jesse Owens to convince them not to do it. And they still did it anyway. Stay strong, fight the power.
A very big kudos to them. The truth is that I am happy that they stood up during their own time when they had the opportunity to do it, right? The truth is that nothing much has actually changed. And the only thing Black people are fighting for or working towards is just for the system that has been oppressing Black people to be dismantled. Nothing less than that, right? Because I see all of them running helter skelter, thinking that Black people are going to take away everything. I really wish that revenge works like that. You all already know what's going to happen, but that is not the case. They're scared that they are going to do them the same thing they did to Black people. That's why you see them trying to tie in their space and all that. They do not want Black people in some spaces and the rest of it. Now, she she said, when black people started standing up for them, they were giving back, to them. They've said that there are some jobs that are not meant for people that look like me. Why? Because we are not good at it. Not just being good at it. We are not meant to be in managerial scale, managerial jobs and all that. That what we are built for, we are built for labor, we are built for some certain things and all that. And when they found out that we could do every other thing, all they can now do is use their power to oppress some people. There is a video that I watched about a young man who was looking for a job, searched for jobs. The same places he searched for job, he changed his name, then submitted his CV, and they called him for interview, only for him to get there. And they looked at him that he's someone that looked like me instead of seeing another person. Man, it's really really, really, really crazy, or should I say, it's in kind of wow that things that happened back then is still happening, right? It's systemic racism. They think, I don't know why they think like that. I mean, we are not intellectually smart to do some certain things. That is what they say, right? But why are you also scared of the same people that you say that they are not intellectually smart to do some certain things, right? Now, you all are so scared because they are threatening. They feel like, man, if we open and close our eyes, they absolutely will come over here and take away for some certain thing. One thing for sure is that if you stand for something so that you don't fall for everything or for most anything, I appreciate them standing up for that. And I hope more people do things like this to come out, stand up for what is right. Let them know that what they are doing, most of the things they are doing is affecting my own community. And when black people started standing, you remember that also they called black people lazy. When you tell them, they said that black people do not want to work. When you are paying people peanut for the job that they are rendering, you want them to still come out and do the job for penny. I still remember stories and videos that I brought here where black people, we be the ones to train people on the job, only for them to finish the work. And guess what? They put them in better positions. The people that you train earning better than you. Is that not an eyesore? So pay people equal to what they work for. That is the only thing they're agitating. And the only thing we are also agitating for is for the system that has been mounted long time ago to be dismantled, so everybody can be free, everybody can have equal rights, democracy can take its turn, and life gets better for people that look like me. See you all in my next video. Bye for now.